Where will they go next? It's been nearly 1 week since Ring of Honor announced they're going to be releasing every wrestler from their contract at the end of the year. And of course, as well, Ring of Honor will be taking a break themselves after Final Battle 2021. And they will not be looking to return until the Supercard of Honor, which I believe will be at the start of April in 2022, to re-strategize and reimagine what they're going to do with the company. But of course, that's what's going to happen with Ring of Honor. What about the wrestlers? Where will they go next? What's going to happen with them? Well, what I'm going to do in this video for you right now, I'm going to go through a number of the Ring of Honor roster, and I'm going to sort of predict where I think they're going to go next, or where I think they're perhaps most suited to going next in their wrestling career. Now, of course, will each company sign every single talent? Remains to be seen. It's a big roster that Ring of Honor have, and I must admit, I'm not featuring every wrestler from the roster here. I'm just mentioning the ones that I believe will have a potential idea of where I think they could be best suited going next. Now, quick disclaimer just before I start. WWE, I think there could be interest in Rouge, maybe Bandido, because there was previously, but I'm not predicting that any wrestler will be in WWE or NXT 2.0 going forward. So that's a very early quick prediction there, but how about I go with wrestlers that I think will be going to All Elite Wrestling? And I mentioned straight away Rouge there at top of the list because Andrade has stated previously he wants all his close people with him in All Elite Wrestling. And of course, I imagine of course that goes with the likes of Charlotte Flair, his fiance, perhaps Ric Flair. Rouge of course is a former teammate of his, and of course it would be good to reunite that stable in an All Elite Wrestling environment. Of course, they love their stables in AEW, so I could see this one potentially happening along with Dragon Lee as well, of course, who's been partnered with Rouge in Ring of Honor as of late. And I think both of these will be top targets for a number of promotions. And if you were to ask me, I can see these two happening. Another one I can see happening is Bandido. Now I'm going to predict this one as a full-on because who remembers All In? Bandido was a part of that six-man tag main event that took place. He was a top target for a number of companies at the time. Of course, he signed with Ring of Honor, and now the opportunity is there. I can see he's got a unique look as well for a masked wrestler. He's got a great in-ring style. I think he would suit with a lot of many dream matches in All Elite Wrestling. So yeah, Bandido I think will be one I think Tony Khan would pick up the phone to try and get. Danhausen, let's talk about him, shall we? How many signs do you see in All Elite Wrestling saying sign Danhausen? Now, the opportunity will finally be there. This is a gimmick that I think would not work in a number of promotions, particularly I'm thinking WWE. But, I mean, when you look at the likes of Orange Cassidy, those sort of style gimmicks, they work very well in All Elite Wrestling. I think Danhausen will be allowed to be himself, and I think he'll get over big time in AEW. It's just a shame he's picked up an injury over Halloween. It looks like it could be a nasty one as well, so this could be a bit of time before we see Danhausen in a wrestling ring again. But hey, he's pure evil, and pure evil can get himself feeling good again. Then I'm sure he'll be having good times ahead, perhaps some evil times as well in All Elite Wrestling. Another one that was a part of All In, and of course remember that big storyline to get Flip Gordon a part of that show. Of course everyone just said, oh, it wouldn't work, and what a great storyline you could make here of Flip Gordon perhaps trying to earn his contract in AEW. I think that could be quite fun if that was to be brought to TV, and I think people that have been following his career beforehand would understand that storyline. So for me, I really like to see that go down, and I think Flip Gordon would be another top talent. He's sort of probably at the moment I think would be in that sort of TNT mid-card sort of area. I don't think you'd probably see him much higher up the card at the early stages, but I think another top talent. He was always improving every time I watched him in the ring, so yeah, this is another one I could see AEW potentially could look to go for. You've got to go for the big names as well from Ring of Honor. Jay Lethal, a mainstay of Ring of Honor over the years. I think that it's his time to shine, to get some network TV time, to see him in AEW, to have some great matches with the likes of Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, CM Punk, MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy. The list goes on and on of the many great matches you could see Jay Lethal have, depending on if he wants to go the face route or the heel route. For me, I'm really keen on seeing this one happen. I think Jay Lethal deserves this opportunity as well. And of course, he was also a part of All In, if you remember as well. So yeah, there could be that connection there. So that's one of the reasons why I've gone for him as a potential prediction. One last one I'll mention very quickly, and this one isn't a prediction because I kind of hope he goes to a different company, but it's one I could potentially see interest in, is Jonathan Gresham, because he is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, and AEW loves to showcase that sort of great wrestling style. I mentioned the likes of Bryan Danielson, that dream match. Oh, I would love to see that go down. But for me, I don't know how Jonathan Gresham would fare if he would be on Dynamite and Rampage all the time, or if you start seeing with the amount of people on the AEW roster, he ends up being more on dark elevation. Now, that's not disrespect to Jonathan Gresham. I just think, personally, for me, I would like to see him go to Impact Wrestling. Now, my reasoning for it, he's been a big fan and advocate of the Pure Rules tournament with Ring of Honor. Well, why not put him in and be the face of the X division, another standout division that has a real representation in wrestling? I think for me, that would be awesome to see him in that environment. So Impact is the place I'm going to make the prediction, because it's the place I'd like to see him go. Of course, his partner, Jordan Grace, is there as well. So that would be a good way to get him through the door as well. And let's not forget that Impact Wrestling, even though there seems to be nothing going on with AEW at the second with the Forbidden Door after Bound for Glory, there is still stuff going on with New Japan. And what about a match with Zack Sabre Jr.? For me, I would really love to see that go down. I'm sure Gresham, though, will probably have the opportunity to still do like the New Japan Strongs and stuff like that as well. I think Gresham, I could see him in a number of places. It would really suit him and his style down to the ground, but the X Division is somewhere I'd really like to see him, so that's why I'm going to make that prediction, because I did a video of wrestlers that Impact Wrestling should sign. Jonathan Gresham was one of them. The other one was Shane Taylor. Now, I think Shane Taylor could be someone that could dominate the main event sort of scene. What a great, extraordinary big man talent that you could see in Impact Wrestling. And right now, Impact needs some signings. Now that the Forbidden Door stuff has stopped for now, they need to not rely as much on outside talent. They're doing it quite a lot recently with AAA, New Japan, AEW. That's filled up a quota of the roster as well, and a number of divisions also. So I want Impact to rely on Impact a bit more going forward, and Shane Taylor would be a statement of intent. This would be a guy that you could push towards your main event scene instantly, whether he's, butting heads with Moose, whether it's a partnership with him and W. Morrissey, or however they want to play it. I think that he would be a great signing if they were to make it happen. Brody King would be another one for me as well. Brody King, he puts his body on the line, man. He's such a great talent. And again, I think he'd be another one that would really suit the Impact roster. So for me, this is one I'd really want to see go down. Brody, for me, could end up in AEW, but for me, as I said once again, it's more what I want as well here rather than just predictions. And I think with Impact Wrestling, you got a top babyface world champion you could make there. So yeah, I'd like to see Brody King in Impact. Impact is known for their gimmicks though, aren't they? And the flamboyant one, the Peacock, Dalton Castle. Surely this one's got to happen, because I mean, Dalton Castle is a great in-ring performer. Again, it would be a great fit with Impact, with the gimmicks, the matchups you could have with Dalton Castle in that promotion. This is another one I would really like to see, whether he goes to the X Division title or if he wants to go one step further and go for the Impact World Championship. Next for Impact, let's talk Matt Taven. I think a former Ring of Honor World Champion, but of course he won it in Madison Square Garden, if you remember back in the day. That was pretty awesome, that special moment there. But again, could bring a lot to the Impact roster. He's great in ring, great with promos, can do babyface, can do heel. He's got everything in his locker there, and I think it's time to see Matt Taven do something different. And for me, I think Impact would be the right place to see that. Perhaps next for the development. Again, another one that could be going in and around that top end of the picture of the World Championship, and this would really fill out Impact's roster. I'm going to go for Vincent as my next one as well, because, well, where Matt Taven goes, why shouldn't Vincent go there? They had a very heated rivalry in Ring of Honor. I wouldn't be surprised to see that reignite again in Impact Wrestling. But again, Vincent, he's the Horror King. It's something that fits really well with Impact and what they've got going with their roster, because it's all about characters in Impact a lot of the time, and I think Vincent would suit that very well, and I think he'd fit in nicely in Impact Wrestling. Another place to fit in is the Knockouts division as well. So rok-c for me will be my next selection for Impact. She looks like that she's going to be a top talent in years to come, and she's already challenged for the Impact Knockouts Championship earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, on an indie show against Deonna Purrazzo, which was a losing effort. But that shows for her to get an opportunity that a lot of potential is seen in her. So I think Impact will make the move to bring her in to the Knockouts division. I think the future is very bright for rok-c in the wrestling business. Next, I'll predict Kenny King. I think it'd be great to have him back in the X Division. Of course, a former X Division champion. He was awesome in that division. I really enjoy his work in ring, and for me, Impact just feels like a natural place for him to come back home to. There's always a chance he could go somewhere else, but for me, I really hope he returns to Impact Wrestling. Next, let's look at the tag team division, shall we? Now, I know they've not been a team for a while, but I think they would definitely replace Triple XL very well. I know that we've got Larry still there, but Romero has left the company, so why not the Beer City Bruiser and Brian Brawler Malones as a team in Impact Wrestling. Again, the character thing now down with the beer cakes and stuff like that. There were the bouncers, I believe, as well, when they were a team in Ring of Honor. So yeah, bring that to Impact Wrestling. I think that'd be a fun duo to have there. And as well as that, what about Mark Haskins and Tracy Williams as well? Not only going to be a tag team, they could be great for the X Division as well. Two fantastic wrestlers, put on some stellar performances when I've watched them in Ring of Honor. So I think they would be definitely a great get for Impact Wrestling. Of course, at one point, they were also aligned with Finn Juice as well. So it'd be interesting to see if they would do that once again with the Forbidden Door, or they could even be rivals, which could be a lot of fun to watch. What about EC3? I'm sure everyone's probably saying to me, well, EC3 to Impact, surely. Well, the Control Your Narrative storyline with Moose last year was absolutely phenomenal. Really enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed his work in Ring of Honor since as well. The only thing is, for me, I'm not sure if he will come back to Impact or not. I certainly would welcome him. He would go straight to the top, wouldn't he? Into perhaps into the babyface or into the heel role, going for the World Championship once again, perhaps controlling his narrative and controlling others at the same time. But I'm going to predict the NWA for some reason. I've just got a feeling he wants to try something different. And I think the NWA, he's obviously been when Billy Corgan was involved with Impact before. And I think that's the reason why a number of these next performers, I think, could be going to NWA rather than to Impact. And of course, Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis Bennett will be my next selection also for NWA, because Mike Bennett went for the NWA World Championship before, re-signing with Ring of Honor. Of Maria could be going over there as well, could help out with the women's division over there with the Empower, what we've seen with Mickie James as well. Love what they're doing with the women's division over there at the moment. So we've got Gail Kim doing an Impact, so I don't see the need of why Maria would need to go back to Impact Wrestling at this point. So yeah, I think NWA could be the place for these two. As well as that, how about the Allure? Angelina Love as well as Mandy Leon. They went for the NWA Women's Tag Team Championships just recently. I think this could be something they could continue to pursue rather than go into the Knockouts division. So yeah, I'll go for the Allure to go to NWA. Next, he's not human. I'm talking PCO. Yeah, he's still going and he's still got some great matches when he does as well. I think the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, will be a good place for him at this point in his career. Not always long, lengthy matches, but would still be a great place to showcase his talents. I'm going to go for Silas Young next, just because the last real man in professional wrestling, I think that would be a great gimmick to see in the National Wrestling Alliance. So for me, that's just where I put two and two together and would like to see that go down. Joe Hendry as well, with his singing antics as well, could be fun to watch. A lot of promo time in NWA. So yeah, again, be another shout for that division. And the last one here I'm going to go, which I think will shock a few people, I'm going to go for the Briscoes. Now, yes, they were a part of All In all them years ago, but also they had been going for the NWA Tag Team Championships in that tournament when it started, when they had that bit of connection with the two companies. So I've got a funny feeling that the Briscoe brothers could end up in the National Wrestling Alliance, and if they did that, there's no doubt they'll be tag team champions very, very quickly. Last couple I'll give a shout for then for Josh Woods. I could see him in New Japan Strong, really could. I think New Japan's a great place for his style of wrestling. I love watching him in the Pure Rules tournament when he was there last year. He's put on some heck of matches as well. I just think he really suits that strong style. So New Japan will be my shout for Josh Woods. Certainly will deliver the goods over there without question. And MLW, last couple I'll go for here for Ray Horace and Flamita. Of course, with the Aztec Underground thing going over there, I could see both of them going to MLW and doing some great things in that promotion. So that's kind of my predictions there. That's where my head's at. Where do you see the talent of Ring of Honor now going? Now they'll be out of their contracts. Of course, there has been rumours that someone could perhaps sign and even debut sooner in other promotions. Where do you want to see people go? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? It's now your turn to let me know in the comment section below. Please like the video as well, share, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell, turn on for notifications also so you know each and every time a video is released. The latest Q&A is on the channel for you right now. Thank you for watching SCW as always, have yourselves a great day and check out some of these videos on the side of the screen right now. Look forward to talking to you in the comments, have yourselves a good one, I'll see you next time here on YouTube.